So I got this off-roader off eBay, and it was cheap because the tires are wrecked. They're all wrecked. A couple of the rims are got some pretty good cracks in them too. This tire is really bad. The back ones aren't as bad, but they're still, I mean, I have the other one that I got had flat spots probably about that bad, and I've almost got them out with foam, and I put foams inside the tires. And anyways, these tires are hard to find without buying whole trucks. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to try and figure out a way to get some of the Amazon alloys on there. So they're almost about the same size as the next version of this truck had the larger diameter wheels. I think the outer diameter is the same as what the inner is on these ones. So these will be a little bit narrower, and I'm going to try and put some more modern tires on it, see if it works out, and then see if it's any better off-road. See if it, I would just suspect that it would be. So I'm going to give that a rip. So first things first, I'm going to tear the, I'm just going to take the axles out, take the portal covers off, and then head out to the shop and bang these things apart. I'm pretty sure this hex is just pressed onto the shaft, and I think this is the same. I see that a lot with like these toy RC cars, so I'm going to go rip it apart. You can see the portal drives. The gears actually look like they're in really good shape, actually. A little bit of grease on there still. So I'm pretty sure that this little collar is just press fit on there, so I can just put that in the vise, tap that out, pull these off, and then I can do some measuring and see what we need to do. It looks like we got a hex here on the ends of these, so 4mm shaft maybe. So we'll go knock that apart and see what we can do with that. And then the fronts, same idea, except for it's just the hubs. So you can see this is the front hub. So that little hex is just pressed on there. And it looks like the drive coupling here is also just pressed on. So I'm gonna try and support it as much as I can on this lip, and then go in there with a small 3mm punch, or even smaller than that, and tap that out without breaking anything, hopefully, and then adapt these on there. And I'll probably try to get these, say, centered, so the back spacing's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be something to figure out. All right, so I got it supported in there half decent. I'm going to go in here with a 332 punch and be very gently just tap it. Yep, came out. It's actually very solid feeling plastic. So there's what you're left with. You got that little hex nut that you always looked at and went, what did they do there? So that's what they did. It's just pressed in there. That's actually a really nice little chrome shaft. So do the next one without breaking it, hopefully. These are pretty delicate. If you squeeze that too tight in the vise, that's gonna break for sure. So I don't even tighten her up. So the rear, I'm just gonna hit it against the wheel too. I could have held it in here a different way probably, but the front came apart pretty good. So, oh, that was not. I felt like it was barely even on there. So you got your little hex drive gears. It's probably about a 4mm shaft, I'm thinking. And then these hubs just have a hex in there. I don't know what size it is, maybe 7 or 8mm. Pretty tight fit too. Okay, now we gotta go devise a system to make those new wheels work. Let's see what we can do. So we got the first version of the front hub adapters printing here. See how they turn out. So while I had the transmission apart, I noticed that the pinion gear is missing a tooth. I was kind of rolling over the wheels while I was fitting hubs and stuff like that, and felt kind of funny. So I ended up 3D printing one with a 0.2mm nozzle, on a super detail, printed vertical like that. So that's the black gear. I think it was a 0.6 module on this one, 24 teeth and 9 teeth at a 0.8, I think. I can't remember. It was 15 minutes ago, so anyways, I'm gonna try it, see how it is. If it breaks right away or whatever, then I just won't worry about it. I'll find another transmission or whatever, but I need to start printing in nylon is what I need to do, so. Okay, so here's the two hubs. This is kind of the final version that I ended up using. So these ones here are the front. So the axle here actually just kind of presses through this hole with a tight fit. And then on this side, you've got the 6mm hex that you press in, which is in the factory wheel. So these basically get installed on the truck exactly as the factory wheels would have. And then your Amazon alloy 6-bolt 17, I think it's 17.5mm bolt circle M4 bolt pattern will bolt in, so you can actually put quite long M3 screws in here. I only have the stock ones, but you could put like a 10mm long or even longer, maybe a 12 or 14mm long M3 fastener in there, and that'll hold the wheels on. And then the rear, the 4mm axle actually floats in this. I mean, it could be snug, but your differential action will start to suffer. So the nylon gear drives in this hex here, and then your axle, this just floats on the axle, so the axle kind of spins freely in there. And that's them. So now I'm going to go and print them, bolt them on the truck, and then bolt the wheels on. I'm going to skip the installation of them because it's basically the reverse of taking them apart, and we already did that. So I'll just skip right to the truck done. And that truck is also getting the full ESC swap that I did in the previous video. So I'm not going to show that either because we already did one of those. So before I show you the result of the tire installation, I wanted to show the new front bumper that I've designed for the off-roader. It's got a light bar integral, and it's also got the original fog light locations with fitted with LED lights. So all the files for the bumper are going to be on Thingiverse, and as well as the hubs for the new wheel adapters. I'll throw those on there as well. And I also have a new steering adapter, or sorry, steering linkage I'm going to throw on there, and also these jack stands that you see the truck on right now, they will also be on there. So those are all going to be additions here very shortly, and on with the tire install. So here's the end result of swapping the more modern Amazon alloys and 33 by 90mm tires on there. So these were like $20 tires. Took a few days to get. The wheels were like the next day. So it did basically triple the cost of the truck, but the truck would have otherwise been a scrap pile, and it's totally good truck, other than I did have to fix that pinion. The 3D printed pinion seems to be working great so far. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll run it because we had no other options. So this truck would have been parts bin, and now it's pretty cool. So I did do an XL5 swap on it. It has a Traxxas receiver in it, so it's 2.4 gigahertz. Runs on the little 2S LiPo, same thing, 750 milliamp. Works great. This truck does have the 3D printed roll bar with without the crossbars and the LED lights. So if you want to try and save these trucks when they got tires that are, you know, like this, they're too far gone, this is a good option. So in the next video, I think we'll take this truck and we'll put it up against all original off-roader and one ESC swap with original tires, and then this one, which is ESC swapped and aftermarket tires, and just see which one does the best. I'm thinking it's going to be this one, but we will see. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.